Okay. Hey, welcome back to the home of Original Sports Perspective. We going live, folks, from our couch to yours. This is your host, Jermaine Lockett. Hey, I just wanted to say, what's good? I tried to do this live thing a couple of times. It hasn't been working lately, so this is just my first time actually going live. I know I got about, close to 713 subscribers out there. So if y'all got the notification bell on, this is the opportunity to chime in. Who we got in the room? If you could go ahead and leave a comment, that would be awesome. We'll see what's up here, but definitely follow the link. I don't know if I got the link up there, but yeah, if you leave a comment on the YouTube, that'd be awesome. Just comment, like, subscribe, and then hit me up on Facebook on the We Are the Ravens page, and I can get you that link to chat. It's actually on the We Are the Ravens page if you're actually on that, or Ravens Nation, and you should be able to check out that if you want to chat with me for a bit. Oh, yeah, Chris White, what's up, man? Boy, can definitely better show out for sure. Where you at? You still in the room? I'm hoping. Hey, what's good, y'all? Hey, did you want to join the chat? Because we can chat it up. If you got a video camera, we can go ahead and chat it on the stream. But I had a couple of things I want to talk about. One that just came in with a piece of, and I normally don't do this, but news that just came in. James Prochet, remember when he was over here talking all that stuff after he scored that touchdown, or just giving that dirty look? He just got fined around, I think it was like $4,500 for unsportsmanlike conduct, and I was like, oh. He got hit up for it. We knew it was coming. It's just we didn't know, when he's going to get that FedEx envelope. But, it's preseason. He had to get it out of his system, and the refs needed to get warmed up to figure out how to find people. So I'm kind of like, hey, as long as he's making touchdowns like this, he can go ahead and go the Ocho Cinco route and double the fine and send it to charity or whatever. Just keep scoring them touchdowns. That's what we want to see. So, Chris, Duet, thanks for coming through. Today, I wanted to talk about the Raiders versus the Ravens, and just three major areas that Baltimore needs to be on the lookout for or focus on as they go forward. And a couple of those areas were what's happening, Abby? What's good? Okay, so the things that I wanted to focus on, and if y'all got any questions, definitely chime in. You have any comments, for sure, want to definitely hear about those. So actually, are you allowed? Actually, I can show the comments here for each of y'all. So if y'all have questions, I just pop them up. This is cool. All right. Anywho, moving on. The three major areas. Gus Edwards is number one. So we know Gus the bus. Not a lot of people have been on the Gus bus. They've been talking about bringing Todd Gurley, talking about bringing in Freeman and all these other free agent running backs out there, and it didn't necessarily make sense to bring in these folks again when Gus has been doing this thing. This guy's been averaging 5.2 yards per carry for the last 3 seasons. Like, come on, you averaging 5.2 yards per carry. You need to be having a starting job somewhere else in the league. Yeah, Baltimore Ravens. Hold up here. As Abby says, Baltimore Ravens should go get Le'Veon Bell. Here's the thing about Le'Veon. When he was in Pittsburgh, I used to run like this. Yeah, he was patient, constantly looking forward to go. And in other offensive lines, it doesn't work like that. But it doesn't work like that because the chemistry between and the offensive line, and the coordinator or specialist, in order to make that work. Phenomenal back, but he has to have an offensive line that has to work what he's doing. So you can't necessarily go after Le'Veon if work with the system. Anyway, going back to Gus. I say we need to trust Gus. This is one, that yards per carry. 2, he was up before, like he was the one that came in with Lamar that had the best chemistry, and they just decided not to go with him in the playoffs, the 2019 playoffs against the Chargers. He only ran it 8 times. Dude had like maybe 20-some yards. But on that first drive, he was the one that actually got the 5 yards on the first time he has handled the ball. And then they decided to pass, and it didn't work out well. And out of those first 2 drives, he only got the ball once. And the third drive, It just wasn't clicking because of the fact that they weren't getting this guy in rhythm like he needed to be. All right. Tracy says, let me see what Tracy says here. All right. Tracy says Benjamin Victor is the man. He showed he needed to get the ball. Victor is the man. Y'all seen him. Okay. Victor did show up big. I liked how he showed up on the final preseason game. Should he have started over Boykin, or should he have been selected to start over Boykin and they just let Boykin go? Maybe. But can Victor block? I hadn't heard much about Victor's blocking skills at all. And we know Boykin can block. We have a lot of guys here who can catch, just like if you look at Nick Boyle and you look at Andrews. When you're looking at the two of those guys, who's going to be the better blocker? It's Boyle. Oh, okay. We got Marquise Wells. Looks like he wants to hop into the chat for a second. I am all for it, brother. What's happening? Okay, so we're going to add you to the stream real quick. We'll go with the side-by-side. We'll just chat it up. Hey, what's going on, Marquise? What's good? You hear me?
Hello?
What's good, Marquise?
What's up with you?
And man, I'm just chilling. We just having a good time over here, chatting it up about the Ravens. I was going in on the Raiders, but then somebody started talking about Gus Edwards, and then started talking about Benjamin Victor. What are your thoughts there?
See, with Victor, it's kind of hard. See, I want him on the main roster, but then again, you got like so many guys ahead of him. You got 5 guys ahead of him. So, like the Boykins, I realized that if they didn't value Boykins as much as they did, he would have been cut.
Yeah.
So obviously they do value him a lot, but I do feel like this game, he could get activated to the active roster, Victor.
Yeah.
But then again, we already got 5 healthy receivers because I think Hollywood should be playing though, right?
Yes. Yeah. Hollywood and Watkins will be both healthy. Duvernay and Prochet will be there.
Yeah, we might see them. I don't know.
Yeah, so you're looking at 5 guys, and it depends on what package is in. Are they looking for that jump ball, red zone type of guy who's going to be able to handle business? Remember how Waller used to do it back in the day? They probably wouldn't use him all the way down the field, but then when it came to a red zone touchdown, you see them throw the ball up and let them take it down. I think that they need that 6'4" type of guy, 6'4", 6'5" type of guy in the red zone to handle business like that. Of course, Andrews is always there. He's sitting at his height. Why got to see
double down there?
Yeah, he'll handle business down there. He's quite the bully down there. Hang on, let's move on to the next question. I got a question from Chris White here, and it says, Hollywood playing inside or out? What are your thoughts on that?
Back then, the old Ravens, we didn't have receivers that was able to play inside and outside. So Hollywood, she's gonna be doing a little of both, which I think it should be out inside more though, with the addition with Bateman and Watkins. But that's why I love our receiver core this year, because we have receivers that can play inside and outside. So that's the blessed thing about that. So I would say he start the season outside.
Okay.
And we have Watkins inside.
Yeah.
So,
I think I like how it looks. I think they should be interchangeable, to be honest, because if I'm somebody to catch me a drag and take it upfield, I'm going with Hollywood, but I wanted him to do it in the slot or move it around as moving around in the backfield, not as the X. I don't need him as an X. I know that for sure. I need him to be able to move around like the Z and be able to get that wiggle room. Of course, Sammy, he's going to be in that slot as well. But I'm thinking, hey, if I'm running that 9, I want Holly on the outside. Yeah, I can use him on the outside or the end. But if I'm just running, hey, it's just a straight up, and Lamar likes to throw more towards the inside. But if I'm throwing to the outside deep and I want to throw that 9, I got to have Holly on the outside.
And all Lamar deep passes go to the left side. You ever notice that?
Yeah, I like his deep pass to the left side. I don't like his deep passing to the right.
Boy. I've seen that, yeah.
I was like, oh man. It's like, oh my God. It was bad, man. All right, let's move on to the next. We got a few of them here. It says, Abby says, Le'Veon Bell, we can use him in the playoffs. So I gave my perspective on it because I just don't think the way he runs matches up with the offensive line. It takes a while to get that chemistry together. But what do you think?
Le'Veon, nah. See, if we're going to go whatever, I'd rather Gurley because Gurley fit the offense better than Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell, he's a patient running back. And the way I run the scheme works, it's like this. So it wouldn't work at all. Then you have like Gauss pulling, and you're going to have him stutter step. You know how you do the little stutter step?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to work over here. I mean, I see if it's like goal line, it might work, but other than that, no, it's not going to work. Then we don't know what type of money he wants. Then during the offseason, he called out Andy Reid. So
yeah, I mean, at the same time, Harbaugh come from that Andy Reid tree as the ultimate respect for Andy Reid. Anybody dissing Andy Reid, I'm pretty sure Harbaugh's here right on this list. Like that one right there. It's not happening, player.
I will say we are looking for a running back. I do think we will. Not right now, but as the season go on, I do think we will add a running back.
You don't think Tyson Williams is that guy?
No, I think they will. I think it's going to be a 1-2 punch. But then again, we got to realize Gus, he haven't had the full load, and you don't want him to wear it down.
Well, he had it before the playoffs in 2019.
But that was towards the end. Remember, the last 7 games, he wasn't there the full season.
Yeah, it was
Mark Ingram.
I think it was 2018. He had the 2018 playoffs, and they just didn't trust him in the playoffs. It confused me. I'm like, the way you beat San Diego the first time was with Gus feeding him the rock, good or bad. Let him get it. Just let this man eat. You know how Gus is. It's like all of a sudden he's running constant positive carries. But he is that guy who's that one-cut runner, and he's off like a racehorse for a good 20 yards. Like, we could use that, or even on third down and like 6 or something like that. Gus is that dude to where he is a one-cut runner. Boom, he's upfield. And of course, if that don't work, you got Lamar sitting there trying to pass, or if he thinks it's there or not there, that's not easy. Just those two as a combination, I think it's going to be phenomenal. Adding Williams to it, even better. But I know if they add a screen passing game like they added even when J.K. Dobbins got hurt. If they're adding that screen passing game to the mix, if you got Justice Hill still there, he's still a murder. Like I said, this dude is more than just a special teamer. He just keeps getting stacked on by these.
He's gonna get opportunity. He's gonna get opportunity.
And they just got better running skills. But he is an open space Reggie Bush type guy if you give him that rock.
Yes, sir.
All right, Abdi says something here. He says, can Baltimore Ravens sign Michael Thomas?
Yeah.
We got no money, man.
$1. I just seen it. You literally got $1, I think. $1 million.
Yeah, you ain't got no money, and you don't have the draft capital that the EDC wants to give up. He don't want to give up that draft capital.
Definitely with Lamar contract,
yeah.
That's not happening at all. I mean, it would be nice, but nah, not at all.
And it's just like, okay, you got a Lamar contract coming. You have what's his face? You got Andrews contract coming. Holly's coming the year after.
Hollywood, Deshaun Elliott. You don't know what you want to do with him. Then you got Bozeman.
Yeah, and they still got to make a decision about Pat Ricard. Like, okay, do they just draft another fullback? Because that's what they had in mind before they lost that fullback to New England. Was, hey, Ben Mason should be that replacement for Pat Ricard, and it did not happen like that. Of course, they thought that they could slide this dude to the practice squad, and New England had other plans in mind. They probably was eyeballing him from the draft, and probably was like,
second round or something.
Yeah,
and that's another thing. Like, I don't understand. They praise the receiver, get receivers. We drafted 2 receivers. We signed 1. Why is this question being asked? They don't trust the receiver. We haven't played a regular season game yet.
Oh. That's what for me. I'm like, if you ain't played a regular season game, how are we? Regular season game yet. Oh crap! That's for me. I'm like, if you ain't played a regular season game, how are we? Regular season game yet.
Even with the offensive line, I know guys have concerns, but at the end of the day, the starting 5 haven't practiced yet with each other. We don't know how they're going to perform. And honestly, I think they will perform they will be a top 10 unit at the before the season. I mean, by the season over.
Oh yeah, it's because of what they already currently do on the ground, and that's where people got to give they got to give Giro his credit. Giro will do his thing on the ground and use the middle of the field for the tight ends, the skitty seams type passes stuff. But I mean, he's got to evolve. But right now, even not evolving, this is still a top tier offense in the league. Like people, and they yeah. Here's another one from Aldi here. He says MP Juice Man is coming back next year.
That's a good question. Though. I ain't gonna lie. That's a good question.
I mean, it's something to discuss because I think he's talented. I like how he's still since he's been in, he's led the league. Mm-hmm. He was drafted. I think he's at 33 interceptions right now. he's worth bringing back. Honestly, I think as long as he is not expected to go one-on-one deep, because that's where he's getting beat up or whatever. I think they were calling him something else. Burnt Toast Peters, I believe it was.
I ain't that. I feel like he get a bad rap.
Yeah.
From cause the other teams he was on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing with Baltimore, dude. Like you heard when hit in the Wire what he said. Like he fell in love with football again when he came to the Ravens.
Yeah.
So I think he would take like a team friendly deal so he can stay with us.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what the Ravens are all about. We're about winning and we're about a team. So
yeah.
I didn't care about during the offseason trading him and all that stuff for Julio and all that. Wouldn't have made sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see us moving on from him. He already reduced. I think he took a pay cut. I think he did. Did he?
I think he did a restructure.
He restructured, yeah. I was saying, so he's willing to do things like that. So
they took full-on pay cuts, I believe. And
so why not bring him back?
Yeah, I think he's a team player. This fits him. This organization fits him better than anywhere he's ever played. Yeah, because the Rams, the Chiefs had a problem with his character, and that's kind of why he was with the Rams a bit. And then, the Rams, of course, see him, fighting dudes in the stands, talking about, "Say, fan, where you from? Talk that stuff now." And I also needed, since we're talking about MP Juice, man, I want to let y'all know him and I are not related, no matter how much facial features.
Y'all do. Y'all really do things. So
if I get that mustache, y'all be like, "Yo, that's him. That's him." But yeah, it's good times. I think so. I was talking about Gus, and I wanted to go through his playoff history. So I did some research. Like I said, he had the 8 carries, and he only had 23 yards, and they were playing from behind, so that's why he didn't get that much work. But in the 2020 playoffs, everybody knew Mark Ingram was hurt. He was like full on hurt, and they still dragged Mark out there and let him run and wasn't getting any yards. But when Gus came in, Gus actually got some yards. He had a 19-yard run on his first carry, and they didn't stick with him.
After that, right?
Huh?
He didn't get the ball after that, right?
No, he got the ball like once after that. I think they was like, okay, let's try it again, because they wanted to go back to the well and got stopped, and then they pulled him and gave Mark the ball the rest of the game. It didn't make any sense to me. I thought, like, okay, if you have a hurt running back with a jacked up calf that is not producing, now's the time to push Gus Edwards in there and see what you can get out of the whole deal. And they just don't trust him. I'm like, why is it in these big time situations they don't trust this guy?
Even last year, we was running down that throat, and we just we panicked. We panicked too early. That's the Ravens' problem. Like, we panicked too early.
And that's sometimes Harbaugh looking at the media, and that's Lamar looking at the media. Sometimes they need to turn the media off and just go to work, do what they do. If he's trying to change things up, going all crazy, then that's where things get messed up. Now, I'm glad that they did make a change by sitting Mark Ingram down and letting introducing Gus into the fold and letting him run loose. But I still think, Dobbins, introducing Dobbins into the fold, I still think Gus should have had an opportunity before Dobbins was even drafted to tear things loose over there. And that's what I think about Justice Hill. I really think if they put this dude on stretch plays, screen plays, anything where he's not running between the A gap, he would kill it. He would absolutely kill it, because that's just what he does. He gets that full on. He gets acceleration through the hole. Boom, he gone. Because they got to trace him.
He showed some clips. Him actually doing it, like even in the pass game. He caught the ball. I don't know. So I hope we really do get the running backs involved in the passing game, because it will take this offense to another level. Like, I promise you, if G-Ro can get the pass concepts right and Lamar can get consistent with the ball, you're talking about like probably our offense better than 2019. Like, seriously, like, then you got the weapons, then you got the O-line, then you got the tight ends. I don't know, man. It's just up to G-Ro and Lamar if they really the next step. Defense, I ain't worrying about the defense. I feel like the defense going to be top 2, honestly. The way they look.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that was the next thing I was going to bring up is because we're talking about the Raiders and their offensive line. And so I'm thinking if the defense is straight, defense still doing things, they're going to be just fine. But I'm looking at the Raiders stats here. They lost they lost 6 games last year, when they took on more than 2 sacks in 2020. So they had 5 games when they lost 5 games last year when they threw more than 1 pick. So if the defense is getting at least 1 pick and 2 sacks, that's a magical formula for the W's. We're going to eat them W's over here. So if they get the 2 sacks, they'll be just fine. I was looking at all them stats last year from what they could do as far as the stats and the interceptions piece there, and it was kind of weird because whenever like Derek Carr, when he got sacked 3 times, he would actually come out with the W. It was weird. It was. I was like, what is going on? I'm looking at it, and so like week 17, he was sacked 3 times. And he had 2 interceptions, and it came out with a W, and Darren Waller tore it loose. The dude had 9 catches, 117 yards, and a touchdown. And here was another game. Where's another game? He had 3 sacks in week 2, and Waller went off again. It was like 12 for 105 and a touchdown. But I don't know, 3 sacks. They got a W. I'm like, this don't make sense. Now he did have his games where they did lose. I want to say it was against the Chiefs. It was like 3 sacks, 1 interception, and a loss. And Waller still went off. That was the consistent thing. Waller's just gonna go off regardless. But that dude just going off.
That's what I wanted to ask too.
Yeah.
After you finish.
Yeah, so that was the next piece I was going into. The final factor of that was Darren Waller. But let me just finish up this last piece here. Ravens pressure with Houston, Oweh, and Bowser. It needs to desperately get home to ease the load on the offense. The more that they can ease that load on the offense to where Baltimore can do what they want to do versus trying to be reactive, they can be proactive in the game plan and not have to just constantly trying to force the ball down the field. If they can focus on what they do best, that 37 minutes time of possession, that's how they win the games. Time that they get above 37, you'll see that they do not lose games.
Lose at all, yeah.
Yeah, and anytime Derek Carr takes more than 2 sacks per game, his win percentage goes down. It's sitting at 50%.
Okay.
So that next piece was Darren Waller, man. I'm sitting here looking at this dude, and it looks like they broke the cheat code on him. Full on open, unlock the special cheat code on this dude, put the game on the back of the helmet, everything. When it like the last 5 games of the season, you just see him go off. You see him go completely bananas, as James Pro say he lost his mind. But I'm talking 654 yards and 4 touchdowns in 5 games. Only one of those he didn't have over 100 yards. He was averaging 130 yards a game in those last 5 games.
And that's with like 9-10 catches.
Yeah. It was like, close to 5 catches. He only had 1 catch. We had 5. One game we had 5 catches. The rest of those was 7, 9, 13, 9, 5. I'm like, wow. Okay, he's just getting it, man. And the thing is Gruden has been moving this dude all over the offense. Yeah, he's just trying to create those one-on-one matchups. And the thing is, he ain't even the fastest dude on the team. Henry Ruggs is over there. They got Ruggs, and then of course, if they're not getting it through the air, it's gonna be some problems. I can tell you.
Who do you think we have on him? Do you think Marlowe follow him, or do you think
I think they got to stick AA on Henry Ruggs? You got to go speed for speed. Speed for speed. If they can't put speed for speed, they put Tavon Young because of that small size. Both of them have a similar small size, whatever. So I say, hey, let's put that. Or I just say screw it. Stick with AA. It's the safe route. Hump could be with them, but I think there's other receivers he could cover on. Or they could just put a Hump on Darren Waller 1-on-1, and that would just cancel that out completely.
That's why I think we need Humphreys on him. I mean, just because Humphrey's a physical guy, the physical corner we have, then Jimmy's not going to be playing.
Nah, Jimmy.
So, I feel like Marlon Humphrey might have to be the guy that follow him. I mean, he might draw some penalties. Waller do, because you know how Humphreys is. He's good for at least 1 a game.
Oh, yeah.
At least 1 a game. So
you ain't being physical if you ain't getting at least 1 a game. So you ain't doing your job. You just Kerry Williams all over again. And I like Kerry, but Kerry was just a shadow.
Yeah, man. Like he was too inconsistent for me. Like he had his days when he looked like a top 15, 10 corner, but then you'd be like, what the hell are you doing? But
and then the thing was, Kerry was good. Still Kerry started running his mouth.
Yeah, that's when he really.
Yeah, he was just trash after that. I'm like, man, and of course everybody started noticing, like, hey, we could target him all day long, and he might get one interception out of 30 completions. You know, I was like, okay, oh crap, we got some AFC North rivals in the room now. Just saw one. I'm gonna put this up here, but I'm gonna go ahead and hide it right after. Wilbur Gross gonna put "Go Browns" on there.
Oh man, I hope it's not another 20. What year was that? Another 2019 year when they got Odell.
Oh yeah,
remember all the hype they had.
But the thing is, they do better without Odell. Yeah. They do complete. They're a whole lot better team without Odell, and it's because of the dude Hollywood Higgins is what they call him. They got their own little Hollywood version.
They call fake Hollywood.
Yeah. That guy, like, he just moves the chains. He works well in the slot, and him and Baker Mayfield just have a chemistry that's just unheard of over there. And but like they do it without Odell Beckham. It's just every time Higgins gets in.
Yeah, they feel like they need to force them the ball.
Yeah,
that's what it is. That's why I'm glad we don't have like a true #1 receiver yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When people call for Julio, that means you gotta force him the ball.
You gotta feed him. You gotta feed him. And the thing is, divas, they want to get fed. They definitely want to get fed. I mean, at one point in time, Derek Mason turned into a diva, and because he felt like Joe and him had that chemistry. When they brought in Anquan, brought in Evans and all that, Derek was mad because he was like, hey, I ain't getting the same feed that I used to get back in the day. Like, what's happening? What changed here to where y'all didn't realize I was the #1? And he's like, all right, 1A, 1B. He's like, come on. And we're like, no, that's Anquan Bolden over there. I don't think you understand, homeboy. Like, I don't think you see what's going on here. Anyway, let's go back to Waller here, man. So the dude was just ripping things loose, man. So and then when he had a bad game, or not even it was like maybe a game where he had like, let's say 40 less than 75 yards. When he had less than 75 yards in those games,
they lost.
Jacobs ended up going tearing it up. I'm like, wow, Josh Jacobs just come through and run for 131 yards just on a random, just because Waller wasn't having a good game. So they have a balanced attack, and they was one of the top scorers in the league last year. The other thing that that bothers me is that I don't know if you remember that you remember the playoffs when they played the Chargers. That defensive coordinator is Gus is now in Las Vegas. And so everything that he saw from Lamar, then don't get me wrong, the offense has changed throughout the years. But he saw Lamar, he got the second look at Lamar a week and a half later or 2 weeks later to say, hey, I can go ahead and try and beat this guy. He threw all those safeties in the box. Now, I don't know if he's going to do that again, but it was effective then. Will it be effective now?
Will it? That's a hard question, honestly, because you got to think two different. Because we had Marty Mortaway. Oh my God, he was bad.
Marty was trash.
He was real bad. So, two different coordinators. Because I actually think G-Ro's actually smart. He's a smart coordinator. He just need to get the passing concept together. Yeah. But I do feel like we had different weapons, different players, old lines different. So I do feel like we could take advantage of that. You want to stack it with DBs? Go ahead. Run it down that throat. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Marty did not do that. I don't know what Marty tried to do. He tried to throw the ball. He kept trying to throw the ball. You can't do that.
That's like
Gus Edwards down that throat. If they want to put DBs in there, fine, let them pay. Make them pay.
Can a DB hold Sammy Watkins? I don't know if a DB can actually hold Sammy Watkins. I mean, a safety. They want those safeties in there. Can they hold Sammy? And then now there's only a few in the league that are just elite, DB elite safeties that can handle business. But I don't think the Raiders got them.
Then they got the rookie, so you don't know how he's going to be. So
yeah, and I think he was the first round pick, right?
No, what? Yeah, it was something like that. First or second, one of them.
So they got a bunch of players that can get things done, but like I said, it's still open to interpretation to see what they're gonna do. They got potential, but potential mean you ain't did nothing yet. You ain't did.
The only concern I have is the Raiders pass rush. That's it, honestly.
Okay, they got Cosby, right?
Cosby, Unique, and I don't know who's on the inside though. But the pass rush, they was like bottom ranked though in the pass sacks though. I ain't know that until I look up the stats 2 days ago.
And Yannick, I think it's just going to take him a minute to get used to another system before he's fully effective. But who knows? He could come out there, causing fumbles. That's his thing. Like come off that edge and have that hand out. And I mean, he had 5 sacks before he even got to the Ravens with Minnesota before he was traded. I think he's probably going to cause problems on the edge. I ain't gonna lie, but I mean, you're also thinking this is the Lamar factor, who just his head is on the swivel as he's trying to figure out how to get that ball downfield, and he's spinning in circles, dancing all around. I would hate to be a defensive lineman. I hate to be an offensive lineman. Because it would just be a full-on pain.
What do you think is Lamar chances for the MVP again?
I'll be honest with you. I told Ian Graven this. I said, hey, Justin Herbert will probably be the MVP this year.
That's my fantasy QB.
Yeah, he's just one of them guys. I didn't see that much touch on the ball that just that pretty. I mean, he was taking no-name wide receivers and making them look like he went down.
And he got an arm. His accuracy is just like I remember. I think it was against Tampa Bay. He threw it from his back leg, man, and he was getting pressured. It was just unbelievable. See, he went to my favorite college, Oregon. That's my favorite college football team. So I know a lot about Justin.
Yeah, my wife from Oregon, so she
like
huge Duck fan. Like anybody when Mariota came out, oh my gosh, I ain't never seen a woman just go completely nuts over another man when she married. You feel me? Check this out. So we got another question here. So we have are the Ravens starting safeties going to make it through 17 games? I think that's what they're saying. Yeah, Chris.
You mean like far as like injury or man replaced?
I think that's what he's saying, like injuries.
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, Deshaun, he made it through last year, thank God. So yeah, I think they will.
I think Washington, honestly, I want
to be too deep. We too deep. So if they need a break, they can come out. We just so low at DB. So
man, I want to see Geno Stone, man. That boy's on
boys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Chris did say injury, but yeah, I think that our safeties. I don't think were they injured. I don't think any of them were injured. Like,
I don't think they was injured though.
Yeah, corners when it came down to COVID, yeah, they went down. But that was like one game.
Yeah, I don't think nobody could be injured. No safeties.
Oh, we'll be talking trash. Oh, you gotta see this. It says Lamar will have to keep running because your right tackle is not good. Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is a Browns fan.
Yeah, he come in just talking shots. So what you think about that?
RT, I gotta see Ville. I gotta see Villanova. I gotta see him play action. Like people been saying he looked bad, but me personally, I didn't see him look bad at all. Yeah. He still transitioned to the right tackle. If that's the case, the Ravens shouldn't have did it then.
Yeah, well, I mean, I seen some tape. This dude was going to the second level and was pancaking people. Yeah, he was pancaking for us.
But I don't think
in the ground game, he is going to be excited to be in this ground game. Most offensive linemen love the ground game.
Yeah. About it. He was so bad last year because Pittsburgh threw the ball almost 600-700 times. So.
Yeah. Well, his stats, they actually lined up right alongside Orlando Brown Jr.'s. They were
run or pass.
For pass protection. And so, but you got to look at it. Big Ben was throwing the ball a whole lot more. And here it is. His stats line up exactly with Orlando Brown's. That means, or Villanueva was doing. He was doing some work, and we got him for cheaper. And so I think EDC did an amazing job of getting that in right there.
So yeah, I don't think he's gonna do bad at all. Like coming in like the first 3 weeks, probably yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, no, I don't see no problems coming.
All right. Here's another question here. We got it from Abdi here. He says, when's Rashad Bateman coming back? So, you got the week 4 is what it looks like. You can see him right now relaxing. If you go follow him on Twitter and on Instagram, this guy is in Minnesota. He was in Minnesota for the game this weekend. I think it was the homecoming game, but he wanted to just be out there celebrating. I think he's taking his time, spending time with his girl, rehabbing up the right way. Ain't doing too much. Y'all look at my previous article. I went in about how he got injured and what happened. So what I wanted to get in and say on that was it's just a route. It's our drills that they're doing, and they're doing them just a little bit too hard. I think they just gonna have to callus up, or they're gonna have to get the proper rest when it comes to that particular drill. It's just one drill where they're doing 5 yards and they're sitting all the way down to where they almost looking like they're sitting in a seating position before they explode back up left or right to get the pass. And granted, it's to open up the hips of the corners, but at the same time, it is like really stretching that hamstring. Yeah. And so, of course, we do that repetitively over and over and over again, it's going to pop. And that's kind of what happened there. You have, they're sitting there trying to get them to sit all the way down to be explosive in those routes. And that's when they get injured. And,
like we rushed him too. Like he left 3 straight weeks, right?
Yeah.
Once he left that first week, I would have just kept him out like they did Hollywood. But then again, he probably, him being a rookie, you had something to prove. You know what I'm saying? So I will say he come back probably week 5, week 6.
Yeah.
Probably around that. That's around the Lions. We played Lions week 6 or 5.
Actually, I don't even know. I had to pull up the schedule here. Give me a second. I'm gonna grab my phone right quick.
So yeah, I feel like week 5 or week 6 look like the right time. Because it's been like 2 weeks since he got surgery, 3. So that give about, by the time that time comes, that's like 10 weeks.
He's on that IR right now. The short term IR, him and Boykin.
So yeah, I say week 5, week 6 should be the aiming point.
Yeah. So yeah, week 4 is when they're gonna try to bring him back.
Oh, so they can't practice though, even if they on IR, can they?
I think he can start practicing that week. They activate him right after they play the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be good to go. So I think they're gonna activate him right after they play the Lions. So he'll be ready for the Broncos game.
Good. I think we need him right there. That would be perfect time.
Just let him relax, come and chill back. Let's see what whoever says. Do you believe your GM did enough to build a team that can finally beat KC? That's a good question. We're talking. He's talking some good questions now.
This the Browns fan?
Yeah, that's the Browns fan.
Yeah, some good questions. Pass rush, I feel like he did the right thing because we did need a Justin Houston. Then you go get an athletic line pass rusher away. So I feel like he is. Then Hayes, I ain't gonna lie, Hayes gonna be the dark horse. I'm trying to tell you, Hayes, he's gonna be the real guy that's gonna eat.
Yeah.
So I feel like he did.
Yeah, the thing is, I can't hate on EDC. I think he is.
I can't even. I don't know why people hate him, man.
Yeah, he came in, he did exceptional. The thing is everybody wants to hate the second there's a big signing by another team. And honestly, he's looking at money towards the future. You can't mortgage the future. Half these people that are mad, they sitting here doing payday loans. They probably still been doing payday loans since they were 16 years old or something. And then they probably in their 40s right now, still hitting up the payday loans, thinking, oh, I can put something on the back burner. Nah, they just don't think responsible when it comes to the money. Because if, let's just say we had to sign Julio, that first year looks very appealing because they would have had 11 million or something like that on the cap. But the next year was 25 or 24 million. And next year was 25 million. It was just like, oh, that cap would have hurt so bad. Lamar would have been like, hey, y'all ain't huh?
So many people would have been gone. You want to be able to sign Andrews. One person you probably would be able to sign is Lamar. Then we would have been back in the situation we was with Flacco.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to prevent. But people don't realize that. Then they're going to complain like, oh, we don't have no money. Build through the draft. Trade these guys. Get draft cap. Then you build through the draft. Then you sign vets to these minimum deals. That's all you got to do, man. Like,
them things is broke right now, like super broke. And it's because they kept doing dumb stuff by putting stuff on the back burner. When you do that, it don't do nothing but hurt the whole team.
You know what you want?
Let's see here. But yeah, thanks for the good question, Wilbur. Like we think, between the Dafio way, I think he's going to get at least like 4 sacks this year. I'd even go as far as saying 6 and be bold and say, hey, Dafio get 6 sacks. Houston is going to get at least like 5, 6 sacks, something along that line. The pressure is going to be there. Wink's going to make sure he gets the pressure. EDC put a lot of chess pieces into place. And I love that he double dipped on the wide receiver. Sure, we hadn't heard much from Wallace right now, but just from watching the last 2 preseason games, there's promise with this guy. There's something there that he's going to bring to the team, and we're excited to see, like, hey, when it goes later on in the season, because they play in 17 games, there are going to be some injuries, and there's going to be opportunities, and I think Wallace is going to get a great opportunity there to come in and do something for the team. when it comes to Rashad Bateman, I'm very excited about him. I'm here with you, man. I think you're breaking up a bit. You with me? All right. All right. So Marquise had to hop off for a second. He's having some technical difficulties once he hops back on the scene. So yes, the Baltimore Ravens did do a lot to beef this team up for the future, and I think that was why it was so many hard choices, so many hard decisions to make when it came to the roster because there were so many superstars. Baltimore has never let a 5th round draft pick go in the offseason. I think they did it once, and they never released one like that. And because they had so many good players, they had to release them. So kudos to Eric DeCosta. This dude did his thing. Does anybody have any other questions here we want to bring up here before I summarize what I was talking about with the Raiders? And we go ahead and close this bad boy up. We've been going about 40 minutes. You know how it go, folks. Let's see. All right, so to summarize things as far as what I was talking about with the Raiders, we need to get on the Gus bus. We need to get on it. We need to trust Gus the bus for sure. Definitely got to trust him. Get 2 sacks and an interception. That's the magical key. And then lock up Darren Waller. If you lock up Darren Waller, and that's going to be hard. I don't know how Baltimore is going to do it. I think they should use the combination of 2 different players. One, I should think they should use the versatility of Owe and the intelligence of Chuck Clark to double Waller and just cancel him out completely, and then really focus the rest of that defense on Josh Jacobs, because that's what's really going to shut these things down here. Gross has another question here. Let's see. It says, do you believe the Browns did enough to keep up with Lamar? I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I full on Ravens fan here. Ravens Nation is in the room, but I got to be honest. The Browns won the offseason. Like, they did it the year before, but I mean, really, they have turned this team around. Y'all got some players that I was hoping the Ravens had drafted. I mean, he really beefed up every single position. It's really on Baker. Right now, the whole thing is on Baker because they put everything around him to be successful. If he screws it up this year, they all should go ahead and move in a different direction because everything is there. Between everything you signed in free agency, you got one of the best running attacks in the league. You got Odell, you got Landry, you got all these other receivers, even with Hodge and what's his name? Peoples. I want to say it was Donovan Peoples Jones or something like that. Sound like a law firm. All of that, they are talented wide receivers. You have depth on top of depth on top of depth. Maybe your corners, they need a little bit of work, but I really think that the Browns are a phenomenal team, and it's going to be one heck of a division or one of the best divisions in football to see that we rival against. So, yeah, the Browns roster. Hang on, there's a comment here from Chris. So the Browns roster is absolutely insane. It is just one of those. I'm like, wow, you can't beat it. I don't think anybody like the go ahead on Gross. Who's your general manager? Tell me who that general manager is, because he must be that Kevin Costner who saw the team turn around on draft day. You know what I'm saying? I think they came out big. They came out smart. And here it is. If KC never released that running back, they might be sitting in 3 Super Bowls. Oh yeah. I guess without Hunt. Hunt had went over to the Browns after I think he kicked a girl or something like that in a hotel lobby, and they just said, that's it, we don't want to take no chances. And Andrew Berry, that's the GM. Way to go. This dude just put pieces together. I think the teams like the Bills and the Browns really turned their franchises around because they used to be on everybody's highlight tape, and I don't think that's going to be the case this year. Because they've really put, I'm talking about, a solid squad together. Just look at the line, look at their draft. They even got up an edge rusher. It was JOK. JOK was one of the players I thought in the draft and pan out the way. And JOK plays in the preseason, thumping people. I think his number's weird too. He's got like a number 28. Looks like a DB, but that dude's a linebacker, propping folks. So I'm excited to see them. I'm not going to be rooting for them, of course, when they face Baltimore. It is definitely different to see that this ain't your Uncle. This is a totally different Super Browns team that you can't associate with a couple of years ago. I mean, they had, 2 wins a couple of years ago? and now here they are. They are pretty much going to rival to take the North. Baltimore do what they can to hold on to that title because we got that X factor in Lamar. But you talk about a team that has a couple of superstars, two Browns who have pretty much topped the positions. Like they're top in most of their positions over there. So it's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be one heck of a brawl there. Anybody got any other questions? Roll out here. Give it a couple of minutes here. Chris, you got anything? Abby, you still in the room? Who else is here? Anybody else want to give a shout out or something? I appreciate y'all coming through because y'all made my day. I didn't know if anybody was going to show and if any questions was going to get asked or anything like that. So I appreciate every last one of you. And trying to think what else we were talking about. So I went into those 3 reasons. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm talking about when it comes to the Raiders and how they have a squad. They definitely got a squad. They're ready for us. Double-digit sacks for Owe. I said 6. I think he's got the speed. I think he's got to work on his technique a little bit more. But I got to go with 6 because I think Judon, he was around 6 last year. I think he can either get the 6 or beat the 6. I say I go 6 to 7 sacks. I'm not going to go overboard with this guy because as excited as I am, as fast as he is, I want to see him used in so many different capacities, whether it be like I said, guarding Darren Waller because he's got the speed to run with it. If they could teach this guy some pass defending skills, he could be a force against tight ends on 3rd down, even though we would like to see him pass rush as well. You never know which way he wants to be used, or never which way Wink wants to use him. If he could use him in the pass rush or pass defending, he's a threat either way. Can't wait to see that. I want to see Ferguson actually come up and show, being that they kept him. I want to see Bowser do his thing. I want to see Houston, show that he's a savvy vet who can still get there. I am looking forward to seeing what this pass rush has to offer because in February it was just Ferguson by himself, and everybody's putting a little meme out there of Will Smith, nobody in the room, and it's just him by himself. I thought that was the funniest thing. But I think, double-digit sacks, that's just asking a little bit too much for him right now. I think as they figure out that he's pretty solid at the pass rush in the regular season, and then he can get there pretty fast. He got that quick first step. Then we'll talk. I'll say like week 2. I'll make a re-prediction based on where he's at after week 2, as to say, hey, where this guy is at right now. Anyway, I appreciate y'all tuning in to the home of Original Sports Perspective from our couch to yours. And man, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and smack the bell so you know when it's going down because. Sometimes I might just pop on here because it actually saves me time on production if I'm just pushing it straight out there and also allowing y'all to talk and give your opinions. So I like to hear y'all's as well. We all have some amazing Ravens perspective and other teams perspective that I want to hear from y'all on. So next time y'all want to chat, y'all want to pop in the chat, let me know. We can get down, folks. Hey, take care. Have a wonderful Saturday and enjoy yourself. Rest up because we got a long football season, folks. Take care. Peace. 2 claps. Fade to black.